In a small town called Egbu, there lived a beautiful girl named Amara. She was admired by everyone in the village, and men from far and wide came to ask for her hand in marriage. No one could deny her beauty. Her glowing skin, radiant smile, and kind eyes made her the talk of the town. But no matter how many men asked her to marry them, Amara couldn't say yes. Instead, she preferred to spend time with them, only to send them away once she was done. It wasn't because she didn't want love. Amara had a deep secret, one she couldn't share with anyone except her two best friends, Sandra and Kendra. She trusted them completely and confided in them about her struggles. Amara had something inside her, something that made her feel restless. She couldn't spend a day without being with a man. It wasn't just one man, sometimes it was even 10 in a single day. It wasn't because she wanted to, but because she had to. There was a fire inside her that she couldn't control. Since she was 15 years old, Amara had felt a strange burning in her body that made her feel restless. She started seeking out men to calm the fire, but no matter what she did, the feeling never went away. By the time she turned 25, the problem had grown worse. She had lost count of how many times she had sought help, but no one knew how to help her. Amara had slept with almost all the men in her town because she had a very high fire between her legs that needed to be constantly satisfied. Amara was deeply ashamed. She had even paid men to be with her, just to ease the burning inside her, but nothing worked. Every night, she would lie in bed and cry, wondering why she was cursed with this terrible secret. She didn't want to live this way, but it seemed impossible to stop. Her parents were clueless about what was happening to their beautiful daughter. They often pressured her to get married, saying, Amara, you are so beautiful. Why don't you settle down with a nice man? But Amara couldn't tell them the truth. How could she explain that one man would never be enough for her? How could she marry when she needed many men every day? So she kept her secret, telling her parents she wasn't ready for marriage, even though the real reason was far darker. One day, while walking out of a small cafe, Amara bumped into a young man named Ekene. He was kind and gentle, and for the first time in her life, Amara felt something strange, something different. Her heart raced and her cheeks flushed. Ekene smiled at her and said, No worries, are you okay? Amara nodded quickly, unable to speak. As Ekene offered her a ride home, she found herself agreeing without hesitation. That night, after their chance meeting, Amara couldn't stop thinking about him. She felt something she hadn't felt before, hope. Maybe, just maybe, Ekene could be different. As days went by, Amara and Ekene grew closer. They spent more time together, and soon enough, Ekene confessed his love for her. Amara was overjoyed. For the first time, she believed she could have a normal life. Maybe this love would take away her secret and the fire inside her would disappear. But it didn't. Even though Amara loved Ekene deeply, the burning desire didn't stop. She tried to hide it, but soon she found herself sneaking away to meet other men on a daily basis. She hated herself for it, but she couldn't resist the pull. The guilt ate away at her. Every time she was with Ekene, she felt like she was lying to him. She wanted to be faithful, but the fire was too strong between her legs. One evening, Ekene surprised Amara with a proposal. He got down on one knee and asked, Will you marry me? Amara was shocked, but said yes. She couldn't wait to share the news with her best friends, Sandra and Kendra. The three friends met at their usual spot the next day. Amara proudly showed off her engagement ring, a smile wide and bright. Sandra and Kendra cheered for her, hugging her tightly and celebrating this big moment in her life. They drank and laughed, imagining the beautiful life Amara was about to have with Ekene. But deep inside, Kendra felt something dark. She had always been in Amara's shadow. Kendra had struggled to find love herself, and now she couldn't understand how Amara, who carried such a dark secret, could be the one to get everything. Kendra felt bitter and jealous. How could someone who slept with so many men be rewarded with love and happiness, while I am left with nothing? She thought. The days that followed were filled with pain and regret. Amara's heart ached for Ekene, but she knew the hard truth was difficult to face. She couldn't live with her secret any longer. She needed help, real help, to deal with the fire inside her. You must be wondering who had played that video on Amara's wedding day. It was Kendra, her friend, the one she trusted with her secret. Kendra had secretly recorded Amara with other men and played it on the screen on her wedding day just to end the marriage, all because of envy and jealousy. Amara didn't know Kendra was involved. She still treated Kendra like a friend and sister. Meanwhile, Kendra kept on putting fire into Ekene and Amara's relationship, seeking different ways to get Ekene's attention. She said to herself, since I have succeeded in destroying the relationship between Ekene and Amara, I think I can have Ekene to myself. Why should someone who is always sleeping with many men marry this handsome man while I, Kendra, can't? I must get Ekene. She tried so hard, but it failed because Ekene wasn't interested in anything that had to do with Amara, let alone with her friend. Amara, on the other hand, decided to seek professional help. She found a doctor who specialized in the disorder she had. Slowly, through therapy and treatment, she began to heal. It wasn't easy, but she knew she had to fight for her life. One day, after many months of healing, Amara received a letter from Ekene. In it, he told her that while he was hurt by what had happened, he still cared about her and wanted her to get better. He also wrote that he later realized that it wasn't Amara's fault, it was a health condition. At the end of the letter, he included a phone number and asked her to call. Out of excitement, Amara called Ekene. They had a very lengthy conversation that led to a reconciliation. Ekene and Amara's relationship restarted, and Ekene was ready to support Amara through her therapy to help her get healed completely from her high libido issues. Kendra, on the other hand, realized that she couldn't have a Ken and that she had done so much harm to her friend Amara. She decided to seek forgiveness. She begged Amara to please forgive her, saying she was deeply sorry for what she had done. Amara, with her good heart, forgave Kendra, but their friendship was never the same again. Eventually, Ekene and Amara got married, and her friend Sandra was the chief bridesmaid. They were all so happy, and they lived their lives happily ever after. The moral of this story is this: secrets, no matter how well hidden, always find a way to come out. It's important to seek help and be honest with ourselves before it's too late. True healing comes from facing the truth, no matter how painful it may be. Secondly, we should be mindful of the kind of people we call friends. Some friends are actually unfriendly. We should be careful about who we share our secrets with. Sometimes it's best to be our own best friends and keep our secrets to ourselves. Thank you so much for listening to this story. I hope you learned a thing or two from it. Please, if you haven't subscribed, kindly click the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. That way, when I post more interesting and insightful stories like this, you'll be the first to get them. And if you are a returning subscriber, hey, thank you so much for listening to my story. I appreciate your consistent support and don't take it for granted. See you in my next video. Bye.